All right, guys, thanks for taking the time to watch this agent investor tutorial. Just want to do a quick overview of once you get signed up, you'll have instant access to this portal. It'll take you to the login page to create your own username password. And once you are in, you're going to see this, what we refer to as a broker continuum. I'll go through each one of these briefly. But this is, in short, just the process from researching what asset class you're trying to target. We call that an avatar, your ideal prospect, to development call, your first, second appointment into the listing. Now, if you're just an investor looking to acquire these for yourself, it's going to be the same process, but instead of the exclusive listing, this would be more the underwriting letter of intent process, which we have all those documents in here. So if you're brand new to commercial, you might want to just run through some of this stuff that is showing you the product types. There's also another demo more in depth on the entire portal here. But if you don't know anything about commercial real estate, or you're just trying to figure out maybe what your asset class is, whether that's medical office, multifamily, which is more what we specialize in. We invest in manufactured housing. So this one of the first videos is the different types of asset classes, right? Self-storage has been a very attractive asset class just in the last 12 to 18 months with some unknown. That's been a very recession resistant asset class, along with mobile home parks that we also are in. But this will just walk you through all the different ones, maybe give you an idea of what more you'll be looking for, and we'll go over why people are buying, holding, once your business plan, what does that look like, instead of just doing it the first of the year and forgetting about it, right? The main piece of this business is prospecting, which we do daily. But before you get to prospect, you need to find out who you're prospecting, right? So we do use a software we include. So for example, if you're in Orlando, we'll just type in, we don't require MLS or memberships. The software we include does have all the MLS right here. You'll see just in Orlando, there's over 3,800 MLS listings. We do everything off market. And if we do get the assignment and have the exclusive listing, we have other platforms I'll touch on later. But just to give you a quick idea here, this is an aerial map that you can do all this through just property records, guys. But this tool makes it much easier to identify. Like, for instance, here's a Dollar General, right? So maybe you're wanting to do single tenant properties. So this will pull up the property record. There's a retail strip center next door. Here's the entity. It'll usually show when it last traded. Excuse me. And this is how we find off market opportunities, right? Here's a Dunkin' Donuts, another single tenant, Narcoosseum Acquisitions. It'll give you all the information here. Very powerful tool. I'll be diving through a more in-depth training on this as well. Here's an RV park. This is just like a Google map, right? But it'll show you the ownership records and show you a lot of great information. So you'll have access to that. We have other tools. Here's a walk score. It's got over 2,800 cities and neighborhoods, 10,000 neighborhoods here in the US. That'll show you the walk score, which, if you're not familiar with, it rates out of a 1 to 100, depending on the proximity to downtowns, public transit, amenities, restaurants, food, etc. A lot of investors take that into consideration when they're purchasing assets, just the desirability of where they are in the market. And depending on your tenant base, for example, like multifamily, you're going to want a high walkability score. If you're in a more of affordable housing, maybe people are relying more on public transportation or commuting via, bike or walking. So that's another tool. And guys, a lot of these are just free resources, right? I mean, we can, but they're all in here in one easy to find place, and just you can go through the steps, right? So like earlier, we showed you the entity. This is a website you can go to instead of just having to Google everything. This has all the states here, SEC, Secretary of State. So whether you're in Florida, California, New York, you can go here, find the entities, and then we'll show you how to get their information, email, phone number, and give them a call. Here's some other free resources that gives you great information on, some of these may have been used to, right? Data USA, best places. We use this when we're getting into new markets to make sure the population, job growth, et cetera, is there. Of course, there's area crime statistics, which is always nice, and rent survey. All right, we show you how to go through a rent survey. Apartments.com is a great resource. Rentometer, we have those. And we get into the cold calls, right? So once you figure out right here your research and who you're calling and plugging it into your database, which you'll also have here, you'll have a database to put in all your records. And, for example, here's a, let's see, this is looks like an apartment building, 54 unit in Orlando, right? So this isn't database too well, but the raw information is there. So maybe here's another complete one. Guys, again, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be multifamily. See, this was an email that didn't work. There was problems sending a postcard, but we have a phone number. We had a picture in here, right? Let's see. Here's a picture. We plugged in, nice little building, multifamily apartment building. So you're going to have a CRM, client relationship management, customer relation management, however you want to say it, you'll have access to that. And we'll go through the steps of the cold call. So if you've never cold called, that's going to be something you learn the steps of, right? Instead of just randomly getting up on the phone, getting hung up on, we try to make these calls warm. And we do that by sending direct mail campaigns out, which you will have access to. 150 open-ended questions, which are great to just have on your meetings, or briefly on the phone. You don't want to interrogate them over the phone, but these are great to have in your pocket for meetings. Here's more objection handling. Back to the rent survey. Here's some questions if you're just trying to put together a rent survey. And it goes on and on, guys. I mean, we go into the first and second appointment, into what does the exclusive listing look like. We have all those contracts here. I'll get to in a second, but once you get to that point, you're going to be underwriting these deals, right? So we give some software, some plug and play. I got some videos that create nice little reports, but one thing you're going to really, let's see if I can switch this over here real quick. One thing you're going to really like to have access to here is the financial models. So once you download this, you'll get a spreadsheet. You should see it right now, the Excel. And what that's going to have is a pro forma. So you're going to put in whatever the seller gives you. You're going to put in the trailing 12 months, which is his column, and then you're going to underwrite yours. As you may or may not know, the numbers will change dramatically oftentimes from what the seller tells you because he's trying to get the highest evaluation, right? But then when you underwrite it, it'll spit out the projections for you and your investors. You can plug in the rehab costs, taxes, or rent roll. And all of this is going to feed into what we'll get to here is the offering memorandum, right? So just to switch back real quick, we'll come back here to this in a second. You're going to be underwriting using the financial models I just went over. There's a couple others also. So here's the deal check software we use, and then also just the template I just showed you there. If you are doing short-term or vacation rentals, AirDNA is a great tool that you'll have access to. There is also a paid version you can implement, but the free Market Minder is nice for that. Now, once we get into the offering memorandum, as I said, you're going to, let me pop back over here. You're going to have a few. We have so many, guys. I mean, there's, even if you go down to the downloadable assets here, you're going to have an investor pitch deck that you can make your own, right? Maybe you're trying to raise capital. Maybe you're just trying to show a deal. Maybe you have a deal in an opportunity zone, right? There's an opportunity zone fund presentation that walks through what exactly is that, how does it benefit, and private placement. This has more to do with the private money raising capital, but we've spent, between my business partner and myself, tens of thousands of dollars on a lot of these documents. So they're in here for you guys. And just to hop back, once you underwrite it, you're going to have these templates to just plug in, right? See, from insert from spreadsheet, you're going to have your own photos. The unit mix, here's from photos. So it'll walk you through exactly what you need to plug in, and it's already done. You can just switch out your logos if you want. If you want a more, like, here's lease comps, rent comps, sales comps. You'll be having to do all this on your own. But here's another one just on some apartments, and you'll have this in a PDF, or I'm sorry, a PowerPoint, where you'll just be able to change out the maps, your own, obviously the key details, whoever is in on the deal with you, at the end, just plug in your partners or whoever you bring in to the deal. So, these are great. And if you don't have something like this, it's going to be hard to compete with your competition, right? Because they're all going to have some nice presentations. So just to get back here, after the offering memorandum, we get into the marketing, right? A lot of people know LoopNet. Unfortunately, I've heard, other brokers call it the broker's garbage can, right? So that's where deals go to die. But we found deals on there. Not saying we've never used it, but what are the other ones, right? What are the other commercial listing sites, or find other deals to find comparables, right? So we have that in here. And then, of course, your contracts, letters of intent. So if you're not familiar with that, it's a non-binding contract. This one's for multifamily, a very simplistic one-pager. You'll have numerous. We use so many different documents. But then once you get to the purchase sale agreement, you're going to need that as well. A few other items, stop letters. You're going to have all the documents you need legal. If you're going through due diligence or trying to help your client, we have a very, very detailed 30-day due diligence checklist as well. So you're going to get a 30-day due diligence plan, literally day to day, right? And again, my business partner and I, this was actually through one of his mentors in the past. We tailored it to our own needs, more geared in the mobile homes park space, but it's all relative. So from calling down to the cities, evaluating what the tests come back on the risk and the search and assessment reports, or guys, I might be sounding like I'm talking another language here, but you'll learn all of this stuff, right? So, and with that being said, at the very bottom, you're going to have a glossary terms that literally just don't end, right? It just goes on and on and on. And you could just look at, if you just spend, 30 minutes a day, right? 20 minutes a day, just going through some of these, it literally just doesn't end. Any commercial term, investment term is in there, which is huge. And, you'll go through post-closing. What is a 1031 exchange? Back to the downloadable assets. If you're not licensed right now, and you're maybe just looking to invest, find deals. We're doing the same thing. That's what we do on the brokerage side. And then we invest ourselves in these commercial assets. The returns and risk-adjusted returns, in our opinion, are bar none. So that's what we do. So you don't need to be licensed if you're wanting to get licensed. This isn't just in Florida. You can get in here, find online school, get it done literally in a weekend, 72 hours of education and a test. So, so many resources, guys. I can go on and on. Just want to make this brief. here's 50 questions to ask management companies, or hand off to your clients as a resource. A lot of this is how can you bring value to the marketplace? And a lot of the stuff in here is not just for you, it's for your clients. Again, if you're not a broker and you're just trying to find deals, this is valuable information to owners. You might be trying to purchase their property in the future, right? So, hope this helps. I know it will. We have case study after case study on how this is helping people. And literally just all that stuff is great in there, but literally just finding the deal like this, clicking on that, and having the resources and knowledge and understanding on how to get a hold of this guy right here, the owner, get him on the phone, get him in a meeting or a Zoom call, and close the deal. Guys, it's invaluable. And the information literally is priceless, because it not only it gives you, the know-how, but it gives you the roadmap to do this anywhere. This can all be remote from everywhere. We've closed deals where we've never stepped foot on the property, right? So that's very powerful. And there's no ceiling in this business, right? It's as much as you want to work, as less as you want to work. More importantly, the freedom it can set you up once you start investing yourselves in these. It creates passive income. So that's what it's about, guys. But I look forward to you. Just book a call if you got more questions. If you, like I said, if you get signed up here, if you get going, it's going to probably show, let's see, you might be on this page right here, and just going to walk you through these commission plans, guys. And once you pick yours and get going, you're going to have immediate access to the investor portal that I just walked you through. If you have any more questions, just book a call here, and I'll look forward to talking to you and helping you close deals.